Welcome, fellow YouTube traveler. I'm Baronen, and I'm on a mission to learn art. I'm currently working on a world-building project called Outram, where all of the people, the dragonkin, wear their souls on the outside of their bodies in the shape of dragons. And for this video, I wanted to design a dragon that would be the soul of an elf. Not just any elf, but a sea elf. And I wanted this dragon to be an underwater dragon. With that in mind, I created a reference board with a lot of underwater animals and a few dinosaurs. At least I think they are dinosaurs. And with that done, it was time for me to start sketching on a few ideas. And I will explain a little bit of my thought process on each one. So without further ado, let's get into it. For the first one, I drew something that looked a bit like a salamander, with a large, broad head and a slender body, with fin-like structures so that it would be quick underwater. I think it looks alright, but I was sure I could come up with a better design. For the second one, I wanted to try more of a dinosaur/crocodile look. So I made the face more slender, with a longer snout. I kept the body largely the same, but gave it a bit more of a ribcage. And I still thought there was a better design out there. For the third, I reiterated the head from the second one, and made it, in my opinion, a lot better, with more defined features. And then I drew a body that looks more like some sort of lizard or something like that. I think this one was the best so far. I really like how it looks strong and agile at the same time. Now onto the fourth, where I wanted to try something a bit more different. I had a nice reference of some sort of salamander, with a head that looked like an arrowhead that I wanted to replicate. I don't think I quite did it justice, but I will do more iterations of it later. And for the body of this one, I also tried something different, and I don't think it really ended up looking too good. For the fifth one, it was a new day, and I started off with creating something completely different from the first four. I tried drawing something that was closer to a fish, that is tall and flat. I think this design fails because it doesn't really look like a dragon, it just looks like a mean fish. With the sixth one, I tried another tactic. I began by drawing a motion line to help me visualize how the dragon would flow through the water. I really liked this thing, and I did it for the rest of the designs. For this one, I tried to reiterate the third design a bit, but putting it in a more dynamic pose and giving it some more underwater features made it look even cooler, I think. For number 7, I tried more of a serpent look, with no hind legs. I really like the head on this one, and I will try to use it in the future. I also like the rest of this design, but I don't think it looks enough like a dragon, and therefore I won't use it for this project. Now, on to the 8th and final one. This is the one where I tried the arrowhead again, and I think it is a really cool look, and I used it in the final design, even if I changed it a bit. And with all of these done, it is time to move on to the final design and illustration. For this one, I changed up my process once again. I'm starting to believe that it is something that I feel like I need to do to keep everything fresh. Or maybe it's just because I think my art will become magically better if I just use a different method. Anyway, for this one, I started out with line art, which is something I haven't done in a long time, but it was fun to do it again. After the first initial sketch was done, I did a second pass over the entire line art to refine it to a somewhat good level. thought I was done with the line art, I thought it looked kind of weird when the rear legs weren't showing, so I changed the pose a little bit to be able to show some more legs. When I was happy with the line art, it was time for the step that defines the shape of everything, and is something that I haven't really done this way before. And that is to paint the shapes using a multiply layer on top of just a plain white layer. This is the step that took the longest time, and like I said, is where a lot of the shapes are defined, and therefore is very important. It was a lot of fun to do though, and some things were really satisfying to paint. I think one of the arms turned out looking really good in the end, for example. You can guess in the comments below which one. Some things did not turn out as well as I had hoped though, like the hand of this dragon. I really struggle with drawing and painting hands, like a lot of other beginning artists do, I think. This is something that I really need to work on, and will probably do a video on in the future. When all of the shapes were defined, it was time to add some color to the dragon. And because I already have painted the shapes on a multiply layer, I can just paint in the local colors underneath, and it will look right. If I did the last step right, that is. Since I'm trying to make Outram really grim dark, I'm trying to use really desaturated colors in the illustrations for it. But in this case, I think I went a little bit too desaturated. That is something I was able to fix later on in the process. When I was coloring this, I tried to use a lot of different colors that I thought would fit an underwater dragon, and didn't really think too much more than that. I also went back during later steps to change the coloring layer, which is something that is really powerful about this method of digital painting. When I thought I was done with the colors, it was time to paint in the light. I did this using a hard light layer and a light blue color that I painted wherever the dragon would be hit by light. I chose a light source that was straight above the dragon, since it is supposed to be underwater. And then I shaded a bit and painted light on the side of the mouth to try to explain the shapes of the teeth better. I don't think the light would really reach there, but I wanted the teeth to be really defined, and therefore I shaded like this. With the base light painted, I wanted to really make it look like it was underwater, by adding the light effect that looks almost like a net when the light passes through the waves on the water surface. And this is the thing that I'm probably most proud of. I think this effect came out looking pretty good, and I really think it makes it look like it's underwater. And after a few final tweaks, the painting was done. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really hope you enjoyed it. If you did, consider giving it a like and subscribe so you don't miss any future videos. With that said, thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one. Okay.